Welcome back. Let's get straight to it. If you're using Grok 4.1 and you just leave it on the default setting, you're using it wrong. Simple as that. But don't worry, today we're going to fix that and show you how to unlock what it can really do. So let me just ask you point blank, are you using Grok wrong? I mean, think about it. Have you ever gotten an answer that felt kind of generic? Or maybe you waited a few seconds too long for a reply that just wasn't worth it? If that sounds familiar, then yeah, the answer is a big yes. And you know what the single biggest mistake is? Just sticking it in auto mode and calling it a day. After hours of testing, we found that this one little habit is costing you. It's costing you time and it's costing you quality. So in this explainer, we're going to fix that for good.
All right, here's the game plan. We'll start with the big mistake everyone's making. Then we're going to meet Grok's 5 modes. I'll walk you through each one, give you some pro tips to get way better results, and then we'll put Grok head-to-head with the competition.
Okay, so the best way to think about Grok's modes isn't as settings. No, think of it more like a specialized toolkit, right? You've got 5 different tools, and each one is built for a very specific job. Knowing which one to grab, well, that's the secret to getting amazing results. And here's the whole shebang. If you look over on the right side of your prompt bar, you'll see a little icon, probably the rocket for auto mode. Go ahead and click that, and it opens up the entire toolkit. You've got auto, the autopilot, fast, which is all about speed over depth, expert for that deep thinking mode, which is honestly the star of the show right now, and finally, heavy mode, the big brain for huge jobs. So let's break down exactly when to use each of these. All right, this is where the magic happens. We're getting to the core of it all, matching the right tool to the right task. This is the part that takes you from being a casual user to a real power user. So first up is auto mode. You can think of this as Grok trying to be smart for you. It looks at your prompt and basically tries to guess, hey, does this person need a quick snappy answer or do they need me to do some heavy lifting? So, if you ask, what's the capital of France, it'll fire up fast mode and give you an answer instantly. But if you ask it to, say, compare quantum and classical computing, you'll see it pause for a second as it switches itself over to expert mode for a much deeper explanation. The thing is, it's not perfect. It can get tripped up by nuance. You might ask it a really complex question, something like, summarize the ethical implications of AI in hiring, and it might just default to a shallow, fast mode answer when what you really needed was that deep dive. And that right there is why you have to take control. Okay, next up, the lightning bolt, fast mode. And yeah, the name says it all. This mode is all about one thing, speed. It uses a much lighter model, it skips all the heavy-duty reasoning, and just gives you a reply almost instantly. This is your go-to for, simple facts, basic calculations, quick summaries. But here's its killer feature, the thing that makes it stand out, that real-time X integration. This makes it absolutely incredible for getting up to the second context on breaking news or what's trending. I mean, other models just can't do that live. It's a game changer. But, and this is a big but, there's always a trade-off, right? You have to remember fast mode is built for speed, not for depth. It actually avoids philosophical questions and complex details. If you ask it about Einstein's theory of relativity, you'll get a correct answer, sure, but it's going to be super brief. Okay, so what about when a quick answer just won't do? That's where you bring in expert mode. When you see that little light bulb icon, you know Grok is firing up its full reasoning power. It takes a few extra seconds because it's literally thinking hard, behind the scenes, using these internal reasoning chains to figure out the problem before it even starts writing a single word. Yeah, it takes a couple extra seconds, but trust me, the difference in quality is night and day. This is exactly what you want for tough coding problems, for debugging those annoying errors, or for outlining a complex essay. What you get back is a response with way fewer mistakes, better logic, and it actually shows its work, breaking down the logic step by step. It's kind of like having a super patient tutor on call 24/7. And that brings us to the next level up, which is thinking mode. Now, it's still in beta, but honestly, it's already the star of the show. The best way to describe it is like a turbocharged expert mode. You get all that deep, advanced reasoning, but it's faster and it feels way more conversational, more human. In our head-to-head tests, this is the mode that consistently came out on top. This mode is just fantastic for things like creative writing, storytelling, or even for nuanced emotional advice and really tough logical puzzles. And what's so powerful is how much better its reasoning is, which means you get way, way fewer of those weird AI hallucinations. Basically, for any task where you want the absolute smartest, most polished answer Grok can give you, this is the mode you pick. And last but not least, we have Heavy Mode. Now, you'll probably see this one grayed out a lot because it's a premium preview. This is Grok's big brain setting. It's designed for absolutely massive tasks. We're talking a context window of 428,000 tokens. To put that in perspective, that's enough to analyze an entire book or a massive codebase in one single go. That team of experts icon isn't just for show. It really does operate like a whole panel of specialists thinking about your question. I mean, imagine feeding it 3 dense academic papers and just asking it to give you a comparative analysis. That's what Heavy Mode is built for. Now, the trade-off is that it's slower and it's super expensive to run, so for now, it's really just for the super users. All right, so that's the theory. Now let's get practical. Let's talk about how you can actually use all this to get way, way better results from Grok. So here's your cheat sheet, turning all that info into action. If you're dealing with breaking news, you're gonna want to use fast mode. And a pro tip, start your prompt with something like, as of today, what is, to really trigger that live lookup. For coding or debugging, jump straight to expert or thinking mode. And don't just ask for the answer. Paste your error code right in and ask, why am I getting this? You'll get a much better methodical breakdown. And for anything creative, again, expert or thinking, but give it a persona. Tell it you are a medieval storyteller and watch how it changes the whole response. Okay, so we've seen Grok has all of these specialized modes, but how does it actually stack up against the other heavyweights out there? Let's get to the AI showdown. Well, each of the big players has its own clear, unique strength. For Grok, it's that real-time X integration, hands down. You can ask about something happening right now and get context no one else can give you. GPT 5.2, that's your polished, dependable all-rounder. It has that huge ecosystem of plugins, so it can do really specific things, like turn your text into a flowchart. And then you have Gemini 3, which is the king of multimodality. You can give it a video and ask it to do 3 different things at once, like describe the speaker's tone, translate a whiteboard in the background, and identify the music playing. It's wild. Now, what about reliability? The truth is, they're all really, really accurate. But when you look at the numbers, Grok 4.1 does have a slight edge. We're talking about a 3% error rate, give or take, compared to about 5% for GPT 5.2. So the big takeaway is that, yeah, they're all super trustworthy, but Grok is absolutely holding its own and sometimes even pulling ahead on raw accuracy. So when you boil it all down, the takeaway is simple, but it's really powerful. Stop leaving it on auto mode. To get what Grok can really do, you have to consciously match the mode to your task. It's that simple. Use fast when you need speed, expert when you need depth, and thinking mode when you need the absolute best of both worlds. And that leaves us with one final question, and this one's for you. Now that you know the difference, now that you know what each tool in this toolkit is for, which mode are you going to try first? My advice? Just jump in, start experimenting, and you'll see the difference for yourself.